What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Episode 8, Yappin, Jabberin, Ramblin. It's been a
Don't
minute.
sound so excited. Jesus.
Oh, see, it's Wednesday. It's been a long week. I'm looking forward to the weekend, big dog. Good
You're
grief.
telling me.
Apparently someone above me is having a wrestling match.
Kinky. Anyway.
Yeah, we got some bad weather here in the ATL. I'm not sure if it's affected where you are yet, but it ain't pretty outside right now.
The CLT.
I would have said the CHL or the THT.
CLT.
Interesting. No, yeah. Bad weather.
No, the temperature went down by about 5 degrees today, and it got really cloudy. But no rain expected. But no real rain expected until tomorrow and Friday.
No, it's raining here.
I reckon it is.
I get a pretty good segue to what we were wanting to talk about. Rain here means no Braves games tonight or tomorrow. They have postponed that until Monday, which sucks because pretty important series, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's pickles in this. Baby! Are there pickles in this?
What?
Are there pickles in this?
Not at all.
Banana peppers?
Nope.
The heck is this?
You got a bad bite.
The green thing?
Yeah.
A normal pepper? That's in every one of our bowls that we have.
I don't know. Tastes a little more vinegar based this time.
What?
Tastes a little more vinegar based this time.
Well, there ain't no vinegar.
She about to start yelling at you. She want to come in there.
Love you. It's delicious.
About to come back in there. Watch ass gotta go.
You just hear a gotta go.
No, anyway.
Anyway,
No Braves games.
Sorry. Disclaimer, I love my wife. She's a great cook. I am a closet picky eater. I don't do vinegar. I don't do pickles. Anyway. Braves
games, yes. Important series. Got postponed until Monday. Doubleheader. Although the doubleheader doesn't necessarily have to happen. All right. As it stands, as of this very moment, Braves
at
are
7:17 on September 25th.
Correct. Braves are half game back of the Diamondbacks, a full game back of the Mets.
Okay.
So in the National League, you got the Braves, Diamondbacks, and Mets fighting for 2 wild card spots left.
Okay.
The Braves and Mets have 5 games left to play. The Diamondbacks have 4.
That's good.
So the Diamondbacks will have a game against the Giants tonight, and then they stay at home and play the Padres over the weekend. And the Padres, pretty hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you believe in hot teams stay hot, or do you believe they won 9 out of the last 10? Law of averages states they're gonna have a cold streak coming up here pretty soon. What's your take on that?
I think the hot team stays hot. Maybe slight regression, but I don't think it does a full 180. Obviously,
so
9 out of 10 is difficult.
It's hot, yeah.
But nothing can't say they can't go 6-9, 7-10, 6-10, something like that.
Gotcha.
Even though there's only 4 or 5 games left, depending on what team you are.
Mm-hmm.
But the Braves have a decent shot at making the postseason, even though it's been a crappy year.
Would you call it decent?
Decent enough for what it feels like, I'd say, as a Braves fan.
Sure. So
the math is kind of on your side.
Right, because we have that extra game.
So there's that. you already have the season series against the Diamondbacks. So if you end up tied with them, you get the bump. And then as of right now, they are 6-5 against the Mets for the season series. Again, 2 left to play, so you just got to win one of those to have the season series against them. So,
the only way that we truly control our own destiny is if we win out. Yes.
winning out. I mean, you win out, you're in.
The only thing that sucks is that we won't really know how we stand against the Mets until, is it Monday?
Sunday night, because the MLB does the very similar thing to the NFL toward the last game of the last week of the season. Everyone's playing at roughly the same time. That way you can't rest someone.
Sit
on
your starters or
right.
whatever.
There's no Sunday night baseball. It's all, I think it's either all 1 or 4 o'clock starts, depending, or your local 1 o'clock your local time start.
Well, when's the doubleheader?
Monday.
So we're not going to know how we stand against the Mets until Monday.
Oh, yeah, against the Mets. I thought you were talking about until we go into that final.
Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah. I understand the confusion.
So you win out.
You're in.
Yeah. Because that puts you a game up on the Mets. Even if they
At the
sweep
very
their
least.
Series. Yeah. Even if they
And
sweep their series.
even if the Diamondbacks went out. Well, we would be half a game up on the Diamondbacks, would we not? If we went out?
We'd be tied. Because we have 1 more game left to play. So if we went out and they went out, they have 4 more wins and we have 5 more wins. Even records we have head to head.
So if we both went out, the Mets are out of the playoffs.
If all 3 teams went out, Braves are in. I'm not sure.
That's impossible. It's impossible.
Oh, it is impossible, right? Went out, Braves are in. Diamondbacks went out.
They're in.
Yeah.
I think the Diamondbacks. I don't know. See, out of the 3 teams, I don't know who I would rather be in this scenario.
So the Braves went out, they're in. Diamondbacks went out, they're in, because that would drop the Mets below the Diamondbacks, I believe.
And if the Mets went out, then they're in.
Yeah. And the Braves are out, unless the Diamondbacks lose 3 of their next 4.
Yes. See, I think the only way the Diamondbacks are guaranteed not to make the playoffs in this situation is if they win. A, they lose out. B,
They lose 3 or 4, and
they lose 3 or 4, they're out?
I think so. Depending on what happens with the Braves and Mets.
God.
It's
That's
crazy.
tough, man.
It's crazy.
That's tough.
And MLB did away with game 163 for tiebreakers, which is why now season series is important.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be if 2 teams were tied, they would just play a game the next day, not Monday.
Yeah.
So,
do we know the Mets series against the Diamondbacks?
I can look it up.
Good deal.
Mets versus D-backs 2024.
Because if
Mets
the Diamondbacks
have the season series.
So okay, how about this? The Mets and the Braves. I understand we're division rivals, but come to a gentleman's agreement Sunday evening. If we both win out on our respective games that aren't against each other, Sunday night, so we would win 3 games, they would win 3 games. And if the Diamondbacks lose a game, can we end in a tie?
So if that were to happen, so if we sweep the Royals, Mets sweep the Brewers.
Yep.
we're still a game back of the Mets.
Yep.
Diamondbacks lose
Two.
two of their next 4.
Let's call it 2.
That would put us ahead of them
Mm-hmm.
because they would have 2 more. We'd be a game up heading into Monday.
Mm-hmm. So let's
Which-
make a gentleman's agreement where we win the first game, they win the second game, both make the playoffs.
Yeah. So honestly, I think if that's the case, we wouldn't need to play Monday. No, we might actually have to.
We would definitely need to play Monday for seeding purposes.
Possibly.
Or both managers just walk out there. All right, doubleheader. All right, guys. Mets forfeit the first game. Braves forfeit the second game. All right, let's go home.
I will say that there is at least 50% chance. Excuse me. I'd say that game 2 doesn't have to happen. It just kind of depends on what happens. I mean, this also sucks. It sucks really bad for the Mets. Like, it sucks for the Braves because you're going to have your Cy Young winning pitcher, probably going to win the Cy Young. He was going to pitch tonight. And then you're going to have Max Fried pitch tomorrow. Which now you're not going to have those guys pitch at all until the postseason if you make... Or not at all, but they won't be pitching against the Mets. You're not going to make them sit another 5 days almost. 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You're trying to throw... Because you gotta win this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, like not every game is a must-win game, but like pretty damn close.
You gotta win. So,
what time do the Diamondbacks play these games, and what time do we play our games? Because that genuinely, if we play after them, that might genuinely.
We do not, because they're at home. So it's
Bastards.
9 whatever Eastern time. So, yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
That's yummy.
Which it's funny because, like, you think about all these scenarios, and you're like, you know what? We had 162 games. Now we're boiling it down to 5.
Well,
It should be
these
better.
5 feel so much more important than
it should be better during the other 157, man.
And this is not a problem.
Which, again, crazy. We're not going to have a 100-win team this year.
Yeah, you were saying that. Who's the closest?
Phillies and Dodgers both have 93 wins. And there's not 7 games left on the schedule, so.
Yep, that math don't math. Damn. Talk about parity.
Yeah. Phillies and Dodgers are at 93. Yankees are at 92. And
there's
then
5 games left.
I think you got a couple teams at like 90, 91.
Hmm.
But then you got the White Sox, who have 157 losses. No, it's not 157, 127. 157?
Jesus Christ.
5 and 157, baby. No, but they
active. Man, y'all thought the A's were tanking.
They legit might not get 40 wins. They're not going to win a quarter of their games.
Excuse me.
That's crazy.
I agree. But
I mean, I will say this season I have kept up with a lot less baseball than I normally do. There's a multitude of factors in that.
Which is funny considering where you work.
Getting married. That not having time to just throw on the Braves every night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that they were not on TV for like the entire summer.
Yeah.
So I kept up with it. Getting notifications and being on Twitter and whatnot, but like actually watching the game with my eyes did not happen very often.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Which I guess is probably how most people keep up with baseball. Has not been the case for me in my life, but
I check the standings there now and then.
I mean, I grew up in a house where baseball season, the Braves were on every night, no matter how bad they were on. Mostly as background noise.
Sure.
You know, you may sit down and watch a couple innings at a time. You know, it's on during dinner. Unless it's like, you know, big games, obviously, which like big games in baseball are hard to come by until you get to this point in the season.
Yeah. Like, even at this point in the season, I was willing to play or to watch them tonight.
Yeah, we went last night to the game. Very impromptu. Josie's grandfather's cousin.
Okay.
Yep. They have season tickets, which is funny because they live in South Georgia.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So apparently they were staying somewhere last night south of Atlanta, like an hour south of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so they were like, hey, we got 2 extra tickets. Do y'all want to come? And I left it up to Josie. I was like, up to you. I don't care. I was like, going to the game sounds fun. Staying in with you and, you know, watching TV sounds fun too. I don't care. She was like, we can go. I was like, okay. So we went. And that was the first time in a while that I watched a baseball game. And I was invested. Especially knowing how big the stakes were.
Right.
And it felt kind of playoff.
Did it feel like a playoffs? Like a playoffs?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But not like, I say this having been to an NLCS game and a World Series game, but like, obviously not that high, but like, people knew the stakes.
Yeah, you know the situation.
Which is always enjoyable. Because like, most of the baseball season, you do have a good percentage of fans who are like, I'm watching the game.
Just there for the vibes and the beer.
Whereas this is when you want, when I prefer to have the people who know what's going on and are invested in the game.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest. I'm going to a Braves game when the tickets are cheap, like in May or June. And like, I'm not even worried about getting my seats, to be honest. I'm just kind of there. Because the tickets were probably, what, like $5-6? The freaking fees are more than the actual tickets are. So, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm there for the vibes. Just walk around the stadium, enjoy myself.
Dude, honestly, Josie and I did that earlier this season. This was April. It was like the first homestand. Similar situation happened to where her family had tickets. They weren't going to go. Gave them to us, and we were like, sure, impromptu date night, we'll go down to the stadium. Free tickets. And it was another rainy day against the Mets. Our seats were undercover, but honestly...
I'm sensing a trend here.
But honestly, we ended up just sitting at like one of the, you know, standing at one of like the bars, like behind a section where you can like eat. We all like saw just as good, less chance of getting rained on from, you know, the wind. We had a couple like taller people like sitting kind of in our way. So the games like that are fun because you're just like, I'm here, I'm kind of paying attention, but, you know, having a couple drinks, spending some time with, you know, friends, family, whatnot.
Here's a question for you. If you're not watching the game at home, or hold on, I fucked that question up. If you're not at the game, do you ever watch the game like at a bar? Or are you always at the crib? Or are you always at someone's house?
Depends on the sport. Baseball, most of the time's at home. Or like, again, baseball, if you're at a restaurant with TVs, they'll have it on. Football, I prefer to be holed up at the crib if I'm not at the game. But if I'm going to watch it out, I think this is what Josie and I are going to do this weekend, is go to, it's a bar, but it's not like a bar.
Sure.
It's I think technically it's a brewery down in Brunswick.
Okay.
We watched the...
Well, that makes sense. Y'all are traveling.
Yeah, we watched the Georgia-Florida game.
At this establishment?
Yeah, a couple years ago at this place that I want to go to. And we had a good time. Now, Georgia-Florida weekend, I would imagine it would be a little bit more crowded then than now. Because a lot of people make the trek down to Brunswick, St. Simons, Jekyll, that area.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for the game. Whereas now it's in Tuscaloosa. People who are going to be there are probably living in the area, as opposed to who would travel down there. Jeez.
You okay, Bubba?
Yeah. But I know your preference is to be holed up at the crib.
100%.
Or like at someone's house,
crib.
apartment, whatever.
Not the problem, but I'm getting out of my comfort zone this week. So if we lose, it's my fault.
No, what's crazy
Going
is
to a Georgia back bar here in Charlotte. We'll see how it goes.
What's crazy is that Josie and I went to my parents' house during the Kentucky game, and that was the first time she'd been at my parents' house for a game. Because most of the time we're either in Athens with her parents, my parents, whoever, or we were in Athens. We were living in Athens together, watching a road game or whatever.
Sure.
Or if we were at her parents' house, because they're 40 minutes from Athens, if that.
Yeah.
So that was the first time, and I was.
You're never coming back here.
I looked at her. I was like, all right. I was like, if we lose, we ain't coming. I mean, obviously, we would come back, but like, we ain't coming back for a while.
No.
To watch a game.
At least until next season.
Hey, Chaz, y'all want to come to watch the game?
No.
Remember what happened
love
last
y'all.
time?
Y'all are good people. No. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the game at my grandparents' house. Actually, yes, I can. It was our first natty. Excuse me. And
that's gotta be weird watching it with people who are pulling for the opposite team in a national championship game.
Yeah. Well, my grandpa was on my side, but yeah, that's about it.
Everyone else is saying Roll Tide.
It's just some bullshit. Respectfully.
I'm not a huge fan of watching at an establishment.
I'm going to try it out. We'll see how it goes.
For one, the money. You spend money on drinks and food and whatnot.
I'm planning on getting pretty sloshed before we get there. Grace is driving.
Got you.
Thank
that makes
the
sense.
Lord.
But then, like, as much as I crap on commentators sometimes, I do want to listen to them. Because I want to hear what's going on, not just see it. Yeah. But I assume, are Herb Street and Fowler on the call? I'm sure they are. They're game day there, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I do enjoy them as a duo.
100%.
Probably my favorite. Brad Nessler is good. Still.
I was going to say, he's not dead.
He's not dead. He's just not doing SEC games anymore. But Gary Danielson.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it'll be interesting watching a game at a different location than what I'm used to.
Definitely.
But we will see.
Did you have a reprisal to your Amtrak rant?
You don't want to
touch it.
Don't want to touch it.
Yeah, just for you, those of you who don't know, Amtrak released a new line that goes from Miami to Chicago, but not directly to Chicago. It goes Miami to DC to Chicago.
Draw a straight line from Miami to Chicago. What does it go through?
Atlanta.
Where are they going through? Fucking Jacksonville, Savannah, DC. It's some bullshit is what it is. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to get heated there.
Don't turn into the Hulk, Drew.
So frustrating.
I will say, though, with the rain, traffic is much worse. Don't know why. Now, again, we're getting like...
Or just in general?
What?
I said in Atlanta or in general?
Probably in general, but Atlanta specifically.
It's definitely in general.
Normally,
but yes, Atlanta. I think you just take like normal traffic problems and multiply them in Atlanta.
Normally, it takes me 20, 25 minutes at most to get to and from work. It took me 40 at least, probably, I'd say.
Damn, son.
Yeah. And like, from what I saw, there were no wrecks or anything.
Mhm.
Just congestion. And I left work 15 minutes early.
It's
But
the
apparently everyone
congestion
else had
that
the same idea.
frustrates me. Yeah, congestion. Like, at least when there's an accident, like you can see the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Congestion is just like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, it especially sucks because I'm the last exit on 75 before 85 and
285?
75
Oh,
combined.
yes,
Yeah.
you are.
So everyone
Good.
who's reverse commuting as well
Is also
Mhm.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Dude, I see some crazy stuff. There's one time.
You live in Atlanta.
So my exit, it's kind of weird. My exit, you go off, and then the right lane takes you up to an actual exit. The left lane keeps you going to where I get off. But what sucks is that exit also is an on-ramp back onto 75. So you got people crisscrossing a lot.
Yep.
So there's that. And then when traffic gets backed up, obviously on and off ramps it gets backed up as well. And I saw a dude just straight up drive in the grass. Instead of going from getting on 75 to my exit, just drove in the grass. I was like, what is happening?
He's got places to be, Chaz. Don't you know who that
Apparently,
is?
man. Gosh.
He's important.
Yeah, driving in Atlanta.
No, I'm on your side there. Like that was one of the adjustments that I had to make. I'm living in Atlanta. I was like, the rules of the road do not apply here.
And I thought it was like a joke. It is. That it's all like BMW and Tesla drivers, but it really is BMW and Tesla drivers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I'm coming back from the grocery store the other day on I think it's a 5-lane road. BMW is just like weaving in and out. I'm like, dude, it is the evening time.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
It is the evening time. Everyone's trying to get home, and you think you got to get home faster than everyone else? Oh, and a Beamer, by the way.
Had to get to his lady's house. No, yeah. I saw the first example of that in this area, and it wasn't even this area. It was in Asheville. On the way back from Eric's bachelor trip, there was a pretty big accident that backed everything up, and people were like, "We're all waiting to get to the exit to get off the highway," and even that's backed up. And a lot of people were taking the shoulder to get there. I'm like, guys, like, I understand you think you're hacking the system, but like, we're all trying to get to this exit. You think that you're entitled to get to this exit faster than me? I'm ahead of you in line, which is a really silly thing to think about. Like, there's no lines, but like, you know what I mean.
There is, yeah.
There is. And yeah, and then finally, this big old Silverado he straddled like the right lane, which is normally the exit lane, and the shoulder. And then people were still trying to go around him. I'm like, guys, number one, that's not safe. Number two, what are we doing?
No, I will say I went into, I think it's not a shoulder. I think technically this was a passing lane. This was today, but it was during that like section where there's a lot of crisscrossing, and it was backed up. So everyone in the right lane trying to get over to the left to get off 75 is backed up as well. So I went around that to get to my exit. Which that I'm like, all right, I'm getting to my exit. I'm not trying to get around you to get back over.
Right.
I'm getting around you to get off. You know.
Getting off. No, didn't.
No. Oh, and then also, I don't know who had a bright idea. We were visiting Josie's parents on Sunday, coming back. So we're on 85 South. The traffic was already bad on like the 316 on ramp from 316 to 85. Because someone had the bright idea to shut down 3 left lanes of 85.
Sure. Why not?
Which I guess, like, I get your thinking is a Sunday night, less traffic.
Yeah.
Everyone's probably home by now.
You would think.
Oh my god. I made the mistake of not using Waze, which I don't know if Waze would have told me any different. It probably
I don't know if Waze-
it probably would have told me to take 78, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was like, it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night.
We're
I know where I'm going.
I know where I'm going. That's pride. Fucking with you.
Well, normally I throw on Waze, even when I know where I'm going for traffic purposes. Didn't do it that time, and it bit me in the butt.
You're a loser. Idiot loser.
Also, never tried to outsmart Waze. We were going down to Brunswick for the Georgia-Florida game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Big wreck, like tractor trailer flip caught on fire on 95.
Damn.
Yeah, bad.
That was Big Rick.
It was so bad that they had people going reverse on 95. So like it was supposed to be going one way,
Yeah.
turned them around to go back.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's tough.
and we weren't using, or I think we were using Waze. We had like 3 cars because it was 2 cars from Monroe down to Brunswick, and then we were going. Oh, we were going to Daytona. This is where we're going to Daytona, not Jacksonville. Sorry, we're going to Daytona. So we took 2 cars from Monroe down to Brunswick, and then her grandparents were already there. They had already beaten the traffic. We picked up Josie's cousins to take them down to Daytona, and we go to get back on 95, and Waze is telling us to not get on 95.
I'm trying to outsmart Waze.
Or it was a different way than like 95 was closed. It was telling us to take a different way other than where the traffic went. But I love Josie's dad. I love him. But one of his flaws is that, being a truck driver, he knows a lot of the routes.
Yeah.
A lot of the back highways. He's like, oh, I know which way to take. We'll do this.
Oh, I know where we're going.
We sat in traffic for like 2 hours. Which showed everyone else. And like it was to the point where they had like cops directing like, all right, 95 is shut down. Everyone else is using these highways. We gotta, help out.
Sure.
It was awful. We didn't end up getting to Daytona till like 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my worst traffic story is when my dad and I were on our way back to the house after a high school football game that he coached in and I played in. And there was a death on I-85.
Yikes.
So they shut the highway down.
But
like we were already on, like we were there. Like we were literally like less than a mile from our exit. And there was no way for us to turn around. So yeah, we sat on the highway overnight.
Yeah.
We didn't start moving until like 6 a.m. And my little brother had a peewee football game the next day. And safe to say, we did not make it to that. As my mom, sister, and brother were walking out, my dad and I were walking in. We were like, screw this. We're going to bed. Best of luck, guys. Yeah. I don't know about my dad, but I slept in the truck. But it wasn't like quality sleep.
Can't do that. Yeah, I got you.
Well, no, like we turned the car off. Like there's no, like we weren't going anywhere.
Got you.
Yeah, we are parked. We ain't going nowhere.
You're going nowhere.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Although it was much longer than 3 minutes. Yeah, while we're on the subject of football-related travel stories, don't shoot me. We went to go play Glen Academy. The week after.
Yep. On the way. Fucking asshole.
All right, backstory for those of you who don't know. My high school team, Pete Drew's high school team, my junior year, his senior year. I didn't play because I was a bench warmer.
Is that a bitch warmer? Or
sure, yep. Although
one of your bitches.
one of your guys made one of our offensive linemen poop his pants.
Shit himself.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nah, say it how it's supposed to be said. Shit himself.
He did do that. Anyways, week after
He do that.
we're going down to Glen. So what happened was the 1s and 2s went like halfway down Thursday night. I was on a 1 or 2.
Sure.
So the rest of us got to school normal time Friday morning, straight on a bus, coach bus, thankfully. Straight on a bus, headed down to Glenn County. Went down there, got our butts whooped because they were on a revenge tour because we beat them the year prior in the state championship. Butts whooped. Like, they came out of the tunnel with fireworks, and I was like,
You're screwed.
I was like, this ain't gonna be good. Dude, so Glenn County only has 2 public high schools. Or maybe Glenn and Effingham share one? Something. And Glenn County had so many people there. In their stands, they took up like half of our stands. It was a butt whooping. And
What was the score?
don't remember. A lot to a little.
So yeah, those are the game. Like, I couldn't tell you what the score was of our game. I just know it was a lot to a little.
A lot to a little. And it was not so bad. I think this was probably pre-planned, but we had pizza delivered to the stadium afterwards. I guess probably to let everyone clear out so we could just hit the road and go.
Sure.
Even though I'm kind of surprised we didn't have a police escort. I'm sure we did, though. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we played, what's it called? When we played St. Pius, we had a police escort. Funnily enough, that was when our first and second string defense bus got ran into.
Nice.
Not funny.
No.
But it's just ironic that was the one time we had a police escort, and that's the one time we got into a car accident.
That's kind of funny.
It's a little funny.
It's a little
no one
funny.
No one was hurt. Like,
no one was hurt. It could be funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's what it is.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Just like high school sports, all the traveling you do for playoffs most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got... So especially with the higher classification schools, you got the Metro Atlanta area, and then you got
South Georgia.
Yeah, in the South Georgia. Valdosta, Colquitt, Glen Academy.
Yeah.
Columbus. So you got the Metro Atlanta area and then like the surrounding pockets of the major southern Georgia cities.
Mm-hmm.
So if you gotta pray to God you win the coin flip.
Isn't it based off of seeding?
So it is seeding, but then obviously you're going to have like 2v2s or 1v1s.
Yeah.
Then you got to win the coin
flip.
flip.
Tied. It's a coin flip. Yeah, that's tough.
So the year we won state, I think we won all the coin flips because we played every game at home up until.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Up until in the dome or the.
It was in the dome.
Was it in the dome?
Mm-hmm. I think.
R.I.P. to the dome.
Was it my freshman year of college? Allatoona was back in the state championship, and I went, correct. And it was at Old Turner Field. It was raining.
That makes sense, though.
Which I don't know why. Arthur Blank inducted in the Falcons Ring of Honor. Congratulations on inducting yourself.
Yeah, and yourself into your own Ring of Honor.
I mean, he's got his name on the Shepherd Center. He's got his name on the new Children's Hospital. Won't do anything for Georgia playoffs. Georgia high school football playoffs.
Yeah, well,
I guess that's how you stay rich.
You buy an NFL team.
A mediocre NFL team.
Hey. What you fucking...
Hey, I will say that should have been a PI. That should have been a PI. Although, a couple of things that would have helped it would have been Pitt selling it a little bit more and Kirk throwing the ball just a tad bit higher.
Hey, man. Before you win close, you got to lose close.
At least he didn't blow a lead.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I guess to wrap up, Fantasy 5. You want to start it off?
So I forgot what Fantasy 5 was. App State just pulled off a thriller against Old Dominion in double overtime.
No, Fantasy 5. Just give us an update on your fantasy team.
Not great. It was going well. Started off the season 2-0, and then I played another 2-0 team who is by far the number one team in the league. He beat me 175 to 120. And then now I get to play his little brother, who is the second best team in the league. So I'm probably about to fall to 2-2.
Hex.
I'd like to give a fat finger to Travis Kelce.
Yep. I feel that one.
Debo, even though it's not really his fault, but really, I'm really depending on 4 players to carry me to victories here. It's Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, C.J. Stroud, and Debo Samuel. Travis Kelce's been playing like shit. Patrick Mahomes has been playing good some games, bad this
not
past
to his
game.
standard.
Not to his standard. Not to the 25 points I need out of him every week. C.J. Stroud been playing fairly well. Honestly, my running back's been carrying this team. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, James Cook. James Cook came in clutch. And then Jacoby Myers and DK have been kind of holding it down in the wide receiver room. I've had to rotate in and out wide receiver 3 just because Xavier Leggett got 0 touches in week 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on with Spencer Rattler. I genuinely thought he was at least going to be the backup, but now he's the emergency option. So,
well, Derek Carr started off really hot, and then he was saving the New Orleans area murder rate, and then they lose, and then
I mean, it's not a bad team at all. I just have 0 depth, and I need my star players to play like stars for me to win.
I got you. Yeah, my dynasty team, I'm 0-3. Well, Chris McCaffrey is not doing me any favors. Cooper Kupp had a great week 1. Now I think he's on. Is he on IR? I don't know. He's hurt.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb has not been doing great. Nick Chubb is still out. So I'm about to be punting here real soon on my dynasty team.
Yeah. Like at some point, you just When do you start tanking?
And then my redraft league, I'm 2-1. Kind of upset though because the Ravens let the Cowboys come back a little bit. So first off, I was playing a guy who is a Ravens fan. I have Lamar. He had Dak and CD.
Yeah.
I also have the Cowboys defense. I will take blame for that one. I should have not have started the Cowboys defense this week. That's all me. But I will say, Dak had to do some throwing in that game, and the Ravens let him. So, and then also Devontae Adams, and is just kind of not doing it, which again, kind of on me for drafting him when he does not have a great quarterback situation right now. But that league I feel good in. My Dynasty League, if I don't win this week, I'm punting, which sucks because I drafted to win now. But
yeah, what's the average age of your team?
Old.
Are you in sleeper?
Yes. Can I see that?
I'm pretty sure pre-draft you could.
Oh. Anyways, no, it's Stafford, Kupp, McCaffrey. Those are 3 of my guys.
Yeah, No, this is hilarious. My team's average age is 25.7, and the league average is 25.7. So
How do you see that?
So you obviously like you're in the league and you're in your match, and then you click over to team, and then you see like where your team name is.
Ah, yes.
You see don't hit the settings gear, hit the bar graph on the top right corner.
I'm there.
Yeah.
So the league average is 25.7. I'm at 26.9.
It's tough.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm above the league average in is tight end, and that's strictly because of Travis Kelce.
Right. You want to hear 3 dudes that I should not be starting on my roster, but are due to circumstances? Gus Edwards.
The Gus Boss.
That's my nickname for him.
I bet it is. That
Jaleel,
surprises me zero.
Jaleel McLaughlin.
You know the first name that came to mind? Okafor.
Jaleel Okafor.
What you know about Jaleel Okafor?
And Alec Pierce.
What is Jaleel Okafor up to?
Because, although...
I'm not even going to lie. I don't know ball. I don't even know that last guy you just named.
He's the wide receiver on the Colts.
That does narrow it down.
Because...
Jaleel Okafor
McCaffrey and Chubb are on my IR. Cup is out. So it's super flex. So I have Stafford and Justin Herbert. My other quarterbacks on my roster: Joe Milton, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Drew Lock. None of them are playing. So that league is going to have a learning curve for me. Oh, and then in my pick'em, I am tied for second. Let me check. Tied for second. I had my first 2 weeks were really good. This week was not so hot.
I think Jaleel Okafor retired.
Sounds about right. Wasn't he on the Sixers?
Well, because he got drafted by the Sixers.
Yeah, and then they drafted Embiid, right?
Embiid, yeah. Tough.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't... His first season, he averaged 30 minutes a game.
Taking a Jaleel Okafor deep dive.
Yeah, didn't think this was on the docket. But, I mean, he averaged 7 rebounds, 1 block, 2 turnovers.
I just don't think he had the drive.
It's about drive, it's about power. But yeah, his last entry in his stats on ESPN is from 2020 to 2021 with the Pistons.
Yep, if he's still playing, it's not in America.
Yeah, he played 3 seasons in Philly, then went to Brooklyn, and then played New Orleans for 2 years, and then he's now in Detroit. Or was in Detroit. I guess he retired.
All right, Drew, I think you and I both have some ladies to spend some time with. I enjoyed this.
He got married 2 weeks ago.
Shout out Jaleel Okafor.
Hey. Gucci you.
Shout out Jaleel Okafor. I did not think I would be shouting out Jaleel Okafor tonight. Oh my God.
Jaleel Okafor. I mean, golly. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so after that, he went to Zhejiang.
China.
Yeah, and then now he is in... Well, then he went to Mexico City.
Is he at least back in Europe?
The last entry is on June 13th, 2024. Okafor was drafted by the Valley Suns in the 2024 NBA G League.
Oh.
So he's here.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. He's here.
Every time.
But yeah.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. I think of that every time I see the Adam Silver. Get ready to learn.
Chinese, buddy. Yeah. All right, big dog. Appreciate you.
All right, Drew. You and I both have some ladies to get to.
Yes,
I
sir.
enjoyed it. We gotta do it again sometime.
The title of this one should be guest starring Jaleel Okafor.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Shout out to look for. That was funny.